My SRC, my pride. A pleasant welcome to all, and I cordially invite you to the presentation. Let me introduce myself. I am V.Nithya, Assistant Professor, Department of History, Sithalakshmi Ramaswamy College, Tiruchirappalli 2. Today, I am going to present a topic, namely the construction of ancient Indian history. This one is not only for history students, but for all the people of India should know our history. Here, I would like to share what were the sources, that is, both written and unwritten records that involved to construct our ancient Indian history. Let me begin with the introduction. History from the Greek word historia, meaning inquiry, knowledge acquired by investigation, is a study of the past. History is an umbrella term that relates to past events as well as the discovery, collection, organization, presentation, and interpretation of information about these events. History is not what you thought, it is what you remember. All other history defeat itself. It is divided into prehistory, protohistory, and history. Let's get into the topic of prehistory. Prehistory events that occurred before the invention of writing were considered prehistory. For roughly 2.5 million years, humans lived on Earth without leaving a written record of their lives. But they left behind other kinds of remains and artifacts. Prehistory is represented by the three stone ages, that is, Paleolithic Age, Old Stone Age, Mesolithic Age, Middle Stone Age, Neolithic Age, New Stone Age. The second one is Protohistory. Protohistory. It refers to the period between prehistory and history, during which a culture or organization had not developed yet, but has its mention in the written records of a contemporary literature civilization. For example, the script of Harappan civilization remained undeciphered. However, since its existence is noted in Mesopotamian writing, it is considered a part of protohistory. Similarly, Vedic civilization from 1500 to 600 BC is considered part of protohistory as well. Neolithic and Chalcolithic cultures are also considered part of protohistory by the archaeologists. The next one is history. The study of the past after the invention of writing and the study of literate societies based on written records and archaeological sources constitute history. The study of the past after the invention of writing and the study of literate societies based on written records and archaeological sources constitute history. History is an academic discipline which uses narrative to describe, examine, question, and analyze past events and investigate their pattern of causes and effect. Herodotus, he was a 5th century BC Greek historian, is often considered the father of history. As one of the first historians in the Western tradition, though he has been criticized as the father of lies. The sources which help in reconstructing histories are non-literary sources and literary sources, which includes religious literature and secular literature. Now we are going to see what are the sources that involved in non-literary segments. Non-literary sources are coins, archaeology, inscription or prasastis, and foreign travelers' account. Now we discuss the coin was not issued in the form of paper, but as coins. The earliest coins found in India contain only a few symbols, that is, punch-marked coins made of silver and copper. But later, coins mention the name of the king, gods, dates, etc. The areas where they were found indicate the region of their circulation. This enabled to reconstruct the history of several ruling dynasties, especially Indo-Greeks who came to India from North Afghanistan and ruled in India in 2nd and 1st century BC. Coin threw light on the economic history of different dynasties and also provide input on different parameters involved such as the script, art, religion of the time. It also helped in understanding the progress made in terms of metallurgy and science and technology. The study of coins is called numismatic. The next one is archaeology. which deals with the digging of the old mound in a systematic manner in successive layers and able to form an idea of the material life of the people, is called archaeology. Material remains recovered as a result of excavation and exploration. Their dates are fixed according to radiocarbon dating. For example, excavated sites belonging to the Harappan period help us to know about the life of the people who lived in that era. Similarly, the megalithic throw light on the life of the people living in the Deccan and South India before 300 BC. The history of climate and vegetation is known through an examination of plant residues, especially through pollen analysis. Coming to the inscription part, the study and interpretation of ancient inscription is called epigraphy. Writing engraved on hard surface such as stone and metals like copper, which usually records some achievements, ideas, royal orders, and decision help in understanding different religions and administrative policies of the era. For example, inscription dealing state policy issued by Ashoka and inscription recording the land grants by Satavahana, king of the Deccan. The last one is foreign travelers' account. Indigenous literature can be supplemented by foreign accounts. To India came the Greek, Chinese, and Roman visitors, either as travelers or religious converts, and left behind a rich account of our historical past. Some of the notable among them were Greek ambassador Megasthenes wrote Indica and provide valuable information about Mauryan society and administration. Next one, the Periplus of Erythraean Sea and Ptolemy geography, both written in Greek, give valuable information about the port and commodities of trade between India and the Roman Empire. Fahion. He was a Buddhist traveler, left a vivid account of the age of the Guptas. And second one is Yuan Shuang. He was also a Buddhist pilgrim, visited India and gave details of India under the reign of King Harshavardhana and the glory of the Nalanda University. Moving to the topic, literary sources. The literary sources are consisting of religious literature and secular literature. Let me discuss literatures and a religious part. The religious literature throws lights on the social, economic, as well as cultural condition of the ancient Indian period. Some of the sources are the four Vedas. The Vedas may be assigned to 1500 to 500 BC. The Rig Veda mainly contained prayer, while the later Vedic texts Samaveda, Yajurveda, Atharvana Veda comprise not only prayers but ritual, magic, and mythological stories. Next one is Upanishad. The Upanishad contain philosophical discussion on Atma and Paramatma. Next one, the epics of Mahabharata and Ramayana. Of the two epics, the Mahabharata is older in age and possibly reflect the state of affairs from the 10th century BC to the 4th century CE. Originally, it consisted of 8,800 verses. The final completion brought the verses to 1 lakh, which came to be known as Mahabharata or Satsayashtri Samhita. It contains narrative, descriptive, and didact materials. The Ramayana originally consisted of 12,000 verses, which were later raised to 24,000. This epic also has its didact portion, which were added later. Next one is Sudras. Sudras contain ritual literature such as Sruta Sutra, which includes sacrifice, royal coronation, and Griha Sutra, which include domestic rituals like birth, naming, marriage, funeral, etc. Buddhist religious texts. The early Buddhist texts were written in Pali language and are commonly known as Tiripitaka, that is Suttapitaka, Vinayapitaka, and Abhidhamma. The text threw invaluable light on the social and economic condition of that era. They also make reference to political events in the age of the Buddha. Read more on Buddhism. The next one is Jaina's religious text. The Jaina texts, commonly called Angas, were written in the Prakrit language and contain philosophical concept of the Jainas. They contain many texts which help to reconstruct the political history of eastern Uttar Pradesh and Bihar in the age of Mahavira. The Jain texts refer repeatedly to trade and traders. Now, the second one is secular literature. There is also a large body of secular literature such as Dharma Shastra or law books. They lay down the duties for different varnas as well as for the kings and their officials. They prescribe the rules according to which property is to be held, sold and inherited. They also prescribe punishment for person guilty of theft, murder, etc. Arthasastra. Arthasastra of Kautilya reflects the state of societies and economy in the age of the Mauryas. Literary work of Kalidasa. The work of the great poet Kalidasa comprises kavyas and dramas, the most important being Abhijana Sakuntalam. Besides being creative composition, they give an insight into the social and cultural life of northern and central India in the age of Guptas. Next one is Rajatarangini. This is the famous book written by Kalhana and depicts the social and political life of 12th century CE in Kashmir. Next one, Charitas or biographies. Charitas are the biographies written by court poet in administration of their rule, such as Harsha written by Banapatta in praise of King Harshavardhana. Next one, the Sangam literature. This is together and provide valuable information about the social, economic and political life of the people living in Delta Tamil Nadu. This Tamil literature contains literary gems such as Sirapathiharam and Manimekalai. I hope that you may all get some information regarding the sources that construct our Indian history. Thank you.